All right, let's get Chris in here, and let's see what this conversation brings. Chris, are you at least 18, and do you believe the Bible is true?
Yeah, I'm 18.
Sure. And do you think the Bible's true?
And yes, the Bible is true. Of course it is.
Dope. And do you agree
Yeah.
or
Yeah, we get
disagree
that
with the
fun now, huh?
prompt?
I agree. I
You
agree
agree
with the
that,
Bible.
so you agree with the prompt on the screen?
Oh, the prompt that you put up on the screen?
Yeah.
No, that's taken out of context, sir.
Sure. Want me to read you the passage, and then
Uh,
maybe you can give me the context for it?
oh, yeah, I'd like to hear you read the passage, please. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we'll go to Isaiah
Thank you.
13:16, and then maybe we'll go to 2 Samuel 24 after, or
Sounds
2
good.
Samuel 12. So this is what God says is going to
Oh, I was
happen
just
to the,
reading Isaiah 58 the other day. I like that. I like Isaiah.
yeah, this is what God says he's going to do to the Babylonians. He says their
Oh,
infants
he
will
didn't say
be,
that. He said he was going to stir up the Medes. He didn't say he was going to bash babies or have houses plundered, actually.
yeah, pay attention. It says their infants
That's
will
what the
be
Medes were
dashed
going
to
to do. No,
pieces before their
that's what the
eyes.
Medes do. That's what the Medes do. God was going to stir them up.
Yeah, if you pay attention, actually, let me read the verse. We can talk about it. Now you're muted. It says, their infants will be dashed to pieces before their eyes, and their houses will be plundered, and their wives raped. See, I'm stirring up the Medes against them. So now, listen, both of us know that the Medes were the
Medes
ones
have
that
free and
were,
will, just like you and me.
the Medes are the ones who actually did the raping, but did God
Yeah, they
stir
have
them
free
up?
will. They have Medes. Medes have free
Did,
will, just like you
did
and I
God
do.
stir them up, though?
God did not kill the babies or have the wives raped and plundered, or none of
I
that.
didn't ask about
He
that. I
stirred.
said, did God stir up the Medes?
Yeah, God stirred up the Medes.
Okay,
Yes.
to do what?
No, like that's what they were going to do.
No, to do
He just
what?
stirred them up. They did what they wanted.
What did he stir the Medes up for?
No, they had free will, just like you and I do. They
No,
did
I'm
that.
asking you, what did stirring
I'm
the
telling you
Medes
what was
have
going
to
on there.
do? What did the
I'm telling
stirring
you
up
what's going on there,
what
friend.
did the
I
stirring up of
said
the
the
Medes?
Medes have free will, just like.
Okay, so that didn't answer the question. You can shout the same bad answer all you want, but it doesn't answer the question. The question is, when it says that God is stirring up the Medes, what does it mean to stir up the Medes?
Okay, what it means to stir up the Medes is he's going to allow things to fall into place where the Medes were going to take
Allow?
out.
Allow
Huh?
them? Does it say
Well,
allow? When you stir up a pot of
he was going. If you
something
look,
on the stove, are you allowing it to
if
do
you turn off
something, or
your
are you
car,
stirring it?
if you turn off the car alarm and you leave the doors unlocked, you're allowing people to go in and take the change out of your ashtray.
Is that stirring?
I mean, you're stirring up the curiosity of people
The
walking by
uh,
and seeing
the
your door
words don't
unlocked.
mean words are pretty off the chart already.
You're stirring up the people walking by seeing your doors unlocked, their curiosity.
You're certainly not. I've never stirred
Well,
anybody up by not locking my car.
sure, man, that's an easy
This is
target,
this
right?
is crazy.
Compared
So
to a
God
locking car.
violates people's
Not
free
crazy.
will all the
You're crazy.
time. God
He what?
stirs up people to go to war all the time. You want to see it?
In the Old Testament? Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, so in Joshua,
Especially against
Joshua
Israel, yeah.
Joshua
Especially against
11,
Israel.
God hardens the hearts of the Canaanites to go out to war, correct?
Okay, so he hardens the hearts of the Canaanites to go out to go to war against who?
Okay, there you go. So
Against who?
God will in fact cause people to go to war, right?
Uh, against who?
It doesn't matter against who. I'm talking about
In the Old
causation here,
Testament,
Chris.
yeah, no, it
Try
does
to,
matter because we're talking about.
Chris, I know you want to talk over me, but you'll never do it. I have the mute button. So you're gonna have to engage. Like I know at your Thanksgiving dinner you're used to shouting at people, but it's not gonna work here. So you can respond in kind, or you can crash out on mute. It's up to you. Okay. So the question was, in the Old
Or
Testament, does God stir up people to go to war?
um, in the Old Testament, it talks a lot about God's people, Israel,
I'm
and
asking
when
yes or
it's
no questions. Does God cause people
that
to go to
doesn't
war? Yes or
then how
no?
is that how you win? Then it's just yes and no.
Does No, I need you to not avoid the question. The question is,
I'm not avoiding the question.
does
I'm
God
answering
people
the
cause
question.
people to go to war? Yes or no?
I'm answering the question for you, sir.
It's a yes or
Because
no
it
question. Does
cause
God
people is
cause
kind of a
people to go
vague
to war?
question.
Yes or no?
That's too vague of a question.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Like,
a very
who does he?
precise
Who are
question.
you
In
talking
fact,
about? To go against the war
I'll
against who?
answer it for you.
Does God
So it
cause
says it was the
Libya to go
Lord's
to war against the
doing.
United States, or
It says it was the Lord's doing to harden their hearts so that they would come against Israel in battle. So I'll ask you again.
yes? If
Does
Israel, if,
God cause people to go to war, yes or no?
yes, if
There
Israel
we
is
go. We
rebelling
got it. We
against
don't
him,
need the
yes,
excuse. We just need the yes.
absolutely. He
Finally,
doesn't cause
okay.
them to
So
kill their babies and rape their women. No, no,
God
no.
does cause people to go to war, yes or no?
Oh yeah, his
Okay.
people, yeah, his people are
And
disobeying
when
him.
God
Yes, they
causes
discipline
people
him.
to go to war, does he know what they're going to do when they get there?
He knows what war is. Yes.
I didn't. Okay, so God not only causes the war, he knows what the war will bring. Now, does he have the ability to prevent the women from being raped in war?
That's a choice that the people make as they're
I didn't
doing it.
ask you that. I asked, does he have the ability? He's already stirring up the people to go to war. He's violating their free will, causing them to go to war. Would it be wrong for him to violate their free will also in preventing the women from being raped?
Violating anybody's free will is wrong.
So it
On
was
God's part.
wrong when
On
he
God's part.
violated their free will to cause them to go to war?
Harden their hearts.
That's a violation of their free will.
Is it?
Yeah.
What does hardened heart mean? What does a hardened heart mean?
It causes them to be stubborn and obstinate. And in this case, in the case
Kind of
of
like you.
Joshua, it causes them to go to war.
Kind of like you.
Not like me at all. I have the truth on my side. You're the one right now
Oh,
crashing
you
out,
do. No, you don't.
showing
No,
everybody
you
the
don't.
true fruits of a Christian.
Actually, I
So,
know the
so
truth.
we'll try this
God told me
again.
the truth.
Does God know when they go to war that they're going to rape people? The answer is yes. Does God have the
No,
ability to prevent it?
to prevent what somebody else is going to do.
Yeah.
What would be the reason why God?
I didn't ask why. I'm asking about ability. Does he have the ability? The people that he stirred up to go to war, does he also
Did
have
they
the
ask him?
ability to
Did they
soften
ask
their
God?
hearts so that they wouldn't rape the women? Yes or no?
Did the women ask God to have him stop?
I didn't ask you about that. I'm asking about his ability, so try again. Does he have
I
the
mean,
ability to
if the women
soften the
asked him to
hearts of the
stop, I mean, I'm
warriors so
sure
that
he would
they
have
won't
stopped.
rape the women?
If the women prayed out to God in faith and asked him to stop it, I'm sure he stopped it. The others that didn't, he probably didn't.
That's not in the book. It explicitly states that he's going
Um,
to bring the Medes against them and have the women raped. And in fact, he says so in Zechariah 14 as well.
he didn't say
He
he's
says,
going to
I
have them
will
do it.
gather all the
That's what they
nations
did.
against Jerusalem to do battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses plundered, and the women raped. So is God causing the Israelites in Jerusalem to be raped?
He didn't. Well, I mean, what did they do?
It doesn't matter. I'm asking, did he
Yeah, it
cause
does
it?
matter.
No, it
It really
doesn't.
matters.
No,
It
doesn't matter at
does.
all. I don't think, to be clear, Chris, I don't think there's ever an occasion where raping a woman is a fair punishment. So we'll try this again. I don't care what the excuse is. I'm asking, did God cause this raping to happen in Zechariah 14? Yes or no?
I mean, I don't think God raped anybody.
I didn't ask you if he did. I said, is he causing it?
I don't know. He didn't cause them. They made
Okay,
the
so
decision
then
on their own free
when he
will.
says, I
They made
will
their own
gather
decisions.
all the nations against Jerusalem, how does God gather all the nations without
Let's take a
violating
look
their
at
free
the.
will?
Let's take a
Chris,
look at
how does
the
God
Hebrew.
gather all the
Let's take a look at
nations?
the Hebrew.
Pay attention. How does God gather all the nations?
How does he gather all the nations, my
I'm
friend?
asking you. Answer it.
Well, you're the one that's sure it happens. So how did he gather all the
Go
nations
ahead and
together to
answer
go on
it.
a raping
How
spree?
does God
How did he?
gather the nations against
How did he
Israel?
gather them all together to go on a raping spree? I wasn't there. You tell me.
I'm asking you. So you don't know then.
Well, I mean, the
So
way he
God does
gathered
it
all the
with
nations,
magic.
the way he's current. Okay,
Is it
I can
magic?
answer that question. I can answer that question.
Or is he tampering with somebody's free will?
I can answer that question as far as like how he's gathering the nations together these days to go against Israel at
Now
the
I'm
end of
asking
times.
about these days. I'm asking you about Zechariah
Well, he's
14.
doing it
When
the
he
same
says
way as
that
he's
he's
doing it these
gathering the
days.
nations against Jerusalem to do battle, what does it mean when he says, I'm gathering the nations against Jerusalem? What does it mean?
Well, he's doing it the same way he did it today as he did it then.
I'm not asking you if it's similar today. I'm
That's
asking
my
you, what
answer.
does it mean
No,
when
he's
God
doing it the
says,
exact same way.
what does it mean when he says, I'm gathering the nations?
Well, he's doing it right now. He's doing it the same way.
I'm not asking about right now. I'm asking, what does it mean?
Well, I'm telling you, he's doing it the same way.
How is he doing it right now?
Well, if you look at the Epstein files, and
I'm
then
not asking about the Epstein files. I'm asking
that's
about
how he's
gathering
doing
for
it.
war.
When the files
This guy
are
can't
released,
focus at all.
and it shows
This is
what
crazy.
Israel has
It's
been
crazy
doing.
that you can't actually pay attention to the line of
I'm
questioning.
paying attention exactly. You won't let me answer the question.
So my question is not about the Epstein files. My question is, what does it mean when God says he's gathering people for war? That's him intervening on somebody's free will. You can't gather people for a war without violating their free will. And God violates people's free will all the fucking time in the Bible. You haven't even read this book. Let me ask you another question on Exodus 21. And I know you're still talking because you think people can hear you, but they can't. You're muted. Your screen tells you you're muted. You know that you're muted.
That's because I'm speaking the truth. That's why
You're
they can't
certainly
hear me.
not speaking the truth.
Yes, I
So
am speaking
Exodus
the truth.
21:7 says you can sell
You'll
your
see when
daughter as a
Israel,
slave. Do you think that
Mhm.
slaves that become concubines are consenting?
slaves that become concubines are consenting. I agree they are.
You think slaves are consenting? So
Slaves are a different
so
definition back then.
so I can sell my daughter
I
as a
like the way you
slave,
mute
and
me.
you think little girls are consenting to be sold as slaves?
You can't mute me every time and
You're
cut me
not
off on my
muted,
answers,
Chris.
my friend.
Your screen tells you
No,
when
I'm
you're
not.
muted,
No,
so
I see
stop
your hand reaching
crying and
over to
answer
the
the
button.
question.
I see your
Do you
hand
think
reaching
that
over to
little
the button. I
girls
know when you
are
mute me.
consenting to be slaves? Yes or no?
Oh, now you unmuted me?
You haven't been muted this entire time. Answer the question. Do you think that little girls are consenting to be sold as slaves? Yes or no?
How old are they?
Doesn't matter. Their parents sold them.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter if they're 12
I
or
mean, my great
16.
grandma was married when she was 14. I mean, she agreed to that.
Pretend she's 14 then. Do you think that girls being sold as slaves are consenting to it?
Well, I mean, they agree with their parents before they get sold to
I
it.
didn't
Yeah,
ask you
they agree with
that.
that.
I didn't ask you about marriage. I said
That's agreeing with their
slavery.
parents. Yeah.
Okay, so just to be clear then, Chris,
Slavery's different back then. Let me be clear
that
about
little girls
slavery.
being sold as sex slaves are consenting to it?
That's not sex slavery, my friend.
It is sex slavery. When somebody
No, it's
sells you
not.
as a
No,
slave
it's
and
not.
then they get to
Concubines have
choose,
children.
I know they have
Concubines
children.
have
Yeah, they're
children.
called sex
That's
slaves.
what they do. No,
They're called
they're not
sex
called sex
slaves.
slaves.
Yeah, they
That's not
are.
what a
That's what
concubine
a
is.
concubine
No, it's
is.
not. They
That
have
is.
children.
Yeah, that
No, it's
is.
not.
I
They
know
have
you get
children.
children because you're a sex slave. That's what you're
Reproduction.
there
That
for.
has nothing to do,
It
with
is.
sex slaves. They're not.
It
They
says it
go
in the
and they have
book. So
children.
just to be clear, Chris,
They're
I'm going to
used
read
to
the
have children, not for.
shouting over me will never work, Chris. So I'll read the book to you since you've never read it. It says, when a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. So this is explicitly referencing somebody who is a slave. Slaves don't have consent. That is why you're allowed to make them your concubine. That if she does not please her master who designated her for himself, he shall let her be redeemed. So this is a woman who was purchased. Her consent is irrelevant. Her dad has the ability to sell her, no matter what age she is, to be somebody's concubine. That was the right of families back in this time period as it was in the Bible. The Bible definitely condones selling your daughter as a slave, and she becomes the property of the master. So I'll ask you a simple question. I know you'll avoid it, but that's fine. Do you
I know
think
you
that
muted me.
slaves, I muted you because you won't shut up. So Chris, it's up to you how often you get muted. You're the decider of how often you get muted. You'll never talk over me on my live stream. It will. I know you're talking right now and you know you're muted. It's crazy that you know you're muted and you're still talking. So just to be clear, Chris, your screen tells you when you're muted. There's a brown bar that shows up on your screen. I know because I've called in to my own live stream on my phone and muted myself. And I know that there's a brown bar that shows up on your screen that tells you that your ass is muted. So you know you're muted and you're still talking because you're unhinged. So I'll ask you again. Do you think that slaves in the ancient Near East had consent over what happened to their bodies? Yes or no?
Yes.
You'd be wrong.
And
They
I got
don't
a
have
screen.
consent. We learned that, in fact, up here. Verse 4, if his master gives him a wife and she bears him sons and daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out alone. So now this woman who's been sold as a slave, who's been given as a concubine to somebody else, does she have the consensual obligation or the consensual option of leaving, or is she stuck?
You see, slavery back then was different than slavery
It's
than what
crazy
you're
that you
thinking
won't
of.
say yes or no to my question. In verse
Because you're not talking
4,
about the same.
the woman who's sold as a slave says, if his master gives him a wife and she bears him sons and daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out alone. Do
Not the
you
same
think
kind of slavery.
that a slave who is tied to her master by law has any consent?
You're talking about a different kind of slavery than
I'm talking about the slave
back
in
then.
verse 4. I didn't tell you what kind of slavery it was.
What kind of slavery was it?
I'm
Tell
asking
me.
you, do you think that this woman
Oh, you're
had
asking me, but
consent?
you're not listening. You're not listening. You're asking me, but you're not
So,
listening.
so Chris, you're still not answering the question. I don't know, like if your brain is only half functional, but the question was the woman in verse 4. The woman in verse 4 is given as a slave wife to another slave. All I want to know is, do you think that slave wives that are given by their master to other men, do you think that they are consenting?
It's not the same kind of slavery.
I didn't ask you about that. I said, are they consenting?
What kind of slavery are we talking about?
Are they consenting?
I know this, that slaves are indentured servants back then. They
They're
owe
not.
somebody something. Yes, they are.
They're
And
not.
they work their way out of it.
So,
Yes, they are.
well, you'd be wrong on that account too, Chris, because
No, I'm not.
what does it say about her freedom?
Well, she doesn't have, until she pays off the debt, she doesn't have the
There's no
freedom.
debt here.
But I mean, if you're a concubine, you agree to be a concubine.
No, that's not the case. You can be sold by your parents as a concubine
Yeah,
against
but
your wishes.
you agree
We
with your
have
parents, though, to have.
no, no, you don't. We have many thousands of concubine contracts from the ancient Near East. The consent of the daughter is not relevant. And in fact, most concubines in the ancient Near East, a lot of them were actually orphans and or widows. They were people who had no other choice, and they were adopted as concubines, or rather than being orphaned, their parents sold them as concubines because they needed the money. They don't have the option of saying no. So, but I want to educate you on slavery because
Educate you on slavery.
well, you haven't read the book, so you'll never be able to educate me.
Oh,
Leviticus
I've read the
25
book. I've read the book
says
more
that
times than you have.
you certainly haven't. Tell
Oh, I
me,
have.
how long are foreigners slaves in Leviticus 25?
How long or what?
How long can you
Foreigners.
keep a foreigner as a slave in Leviticus 25?
The old law, huh? I had to brush up on that.
I thought you read it.
Oh, I've read it. I mean, you have it
Obviously not
memorized
more
or
than
all of
me.
it? Yeah, I have.
Not
Okay, in
enough to know
Matthew,
one of the most
in
important
Mark,
slave passages. It's
in Mark,
crazy. I'm
in
asking you
Mark
about
10,
Leviticus.
20,
In
why did
Leviticus
Jesus
25, I'm
look at him and
asking
love
you
him?
about how long you can own a slave.
Why don't you tell me that answer since you know it?
It's on the screen. It says, as for the male and female slaves you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from among the aliens residing with you and from their families who are with you, who have been born in your land. They may be your property. You may keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves. So,
But
how
as
long
for
are they
his fellow
slaves
sub,
for?
yeah, but as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the
I
other
asked you about the
with
foreigners, not the
harshness.
Israelites.
Harshness. Well, the
How
foreigners, I
long are the
mean,
foreigners slaves for?
for as long as they're foreigners.
For all their life.
For as long as they're foreigners,
It
yes.
doesn't say that. It says for all their life.
Well, they're foreigners their whole life.
I know. So they're foreigners their entire lives.
Yeah,
That means that you can
that's
own
sad.
a person as property forever, Chris. What's the
Well, until they
definition of
die, you
slavery?
can't own them as property when they're
Yeah,
dead.
we agree that you can't own people after they're dead. So what's the
Well,
definition
not
of
forever, it's for a
slavery?
long time.
What's the definition of slavery, Chris?
Oh, well, obviously it's different between foreigners and for Israelites, because Israelites, it says
Oh,
without
so
harshness.
now all of a
For
sudden
the
you recognize
Israelites, it
that
says
they
without
could own
harshness.
slaves, and now you
You
want to
didn't finish
shout
reading
over me
it.
because you know you're getting your ass cooked. So
You didn't finish reading
let's
it though. It says
let's
without
make sure
harshness
we're clear
though.
on this, Chris.
Let's finish that. Let's finish
Does the
that.
Bible say that you can
Finish.
own slaves forever? Yes or no?
You didn't finish that paragraph right there. It does, says the Israelites without harshness though. Foreigners
I
with
didn't
harshness.
ask you about the Israelites.
Well,
I asked you about the
there's two different
foreigners.
types of
So
slaves
to
there.
be
That just makes
sure,
it two different types
so
of
to be
slaves
sure,
though. Now
there
we're talking
were
about
some
foreigners, right?
slaves that you were allowed to
So
own for
which
life,
fathers
right?
and mothers are we talking about? The foreigners or
Chris,
the Israelites?
the more you talk, the worse this looks for you. Answer my
Not
question.
for me, it doesn't.
Does
I
the
don't look
Bible
bad
say
ever.
that you can own some slaves for life? Yes or no?
Yes, the Bible says if you're
Oh,
a
there we go.
foreigner,
All right, so we
it
finally
says if
got to
you're
the
a foreigner,
point. Now,
and you,
let's talk about how you can own Hebrew women for life. Verse 7 of Exodus 21, when a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. How long do the male slaves get to serve for?
you were going to tell me, or which the Hebrew male slaves?
You read it, tell me.
Well, we're reading it right now. I don't have it all memorized verbatim like you
So
do.
you don't know. It's
I
6
don't study. I
years. They
don't.
get to go
Oh,
free in the 7th year. The
you
male
can refresh
slaves
me.
get to go free in the 7th year. When do the women slaves get to go free?
Whoa, never.
That's what it says. It says they don't go out like the male
And we're
slaves
talking
do.
about the Hebrew ones, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the Hebrew women
Yeah,
back
but
then,
yeah,
okay.
but
The
okay,
Hebrew
so
women
now
back then,
so
they
now
didn't
we've
have
discovered
the
that the
Hebrew women
foreigners
back then didn't
and
have
the
income.
Hebrew women you're allowed to keep
The,
as slaves for life. Finally, we
the
came to
ones
an
who don't have
agreement
income,
that the
yes.
Bible
The
does
ones who don't have
condone
income,
slavery. Isn't that
right? The
wild?
ones who don't have income, yes, they don't have
I'm sorry,
income.
does it
That's
mention her income
you
here?
don't have
Does
if
it
you don't have
mention her
income, you become a
income?
slave. Women don't make income back then,
They certainly did.
did they? If they're married,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, they even in the
If
Bible
they're
they
married,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
If
you
they're
didn't have to be
married, they
married to
did.
make income. Who do you think made all the cloths? Women almost exclusively made
Slaves.
all of the cloth of the ancient Near East. They made the perfumes, they made the cloths, they made ointments, they made the incense. They did all that shit.
Okay.
Women had jobs, they can do stuff. In fact, there were women herders. In
So
fact, in ancient
so why
Arabia,
why
they actually had
why were
queens
foreigners?
ruling the kingdom, Chris.
I'm familiar with that. But what about why were there foreigners in the land then if they had jobs elsewhere? Why would they want to go to Israel and become slaves?
There were foreigners in every land, and just being a
Yeah, but why would they want
foreigner
to go to
in
Israel
somebody
to become
else's
slaves
land
though?
doesn't entail that you're a
They had
slave.
to know that if they went there, they were going to become a slave. Why would they go there?
No, just being a foreigner doesn't make you a slave.
In Israel?
Anywhere.
Well, how did they become a slave then?
And typically, your parents sold you as a slave, or you got captured in war, like in Numbers 31, or in fact, you might have broken a law that required you to be somebody's slave to pay restitution. There's lots of reasons why you could become a slave. There's no one
Sounds
single
pretty.
reason, but the reality is, God
So
says that you
there's
can own slaves for life and you can sell your children as slaves.
sounds like you had a big debt then. You shouldn't have got yourself in that position,
It doesn't matter.
especially for the
Do you
outcome.
think children should be
Especially
allowed to
for
be
the
sold as
outcome.
slaves?
I don't. I think that you got to be more careful and plan your
Do
life
you
better
think that
if that's the case. If
children
that's what
should
you're
be
doing.
sold as slaves, Chris?
Not for sex slaves. Heck no. Israel is doing over there on
But the
Epstein
Bible
Island.
says that you
No.
can sell your children as slaves.
In Old Testament, yeah, they don't do
It
that
doesn't
nowadays.
matter.
That's a
Okay,
long
so we
time.
finally came to an agreement. The Bible says you can
Hmm.
sell your child, your son or daughter, as a slave.
That
If in
happened
fact,
actually. Yeah,
I
that
know it
happened.
does happen. So if in
No, it did
fact
happen.
you sell your
That's
daughter
true.
as a slave, she can become somebody's concubine by
Yeah,
choice
you don't want
of
to.
her master, which
I
means
I I
this in
I
fact
definitely wouldn't
is
want to sell my daughter as a slave.
non-consensual slave rape is what that
I
is.
definitely wouldn't want to do that though, would I?
Why wouldn't you want to do it?
I wouldn't want to sell my daughter into slavery. It could be a harsh
Why?
life.
Why wouldn't you? Oh, okay. So it would be bad for her, but it was good when God said you
It would
can
be
do
bad
it.
Well, I mean, even if you said I could do that, I wouldn't.
I didn't say that you would. I'm saying that you believe it's probably okay when God said that you can do it. Let's read another
I
passage that
believe
I
that
know you've
anybody who
never
did
read,
that
Chris.
is. I believe that anybody who would do that, that would adhere to that rule, I believe that they were not making good decisions at the time.
Yeah, but God said you can do it, which makes it a good decision. We'll get to that
And
next.
that's
So Second
well, not
Samuel chapter
necessarily.
12,
Not
do you
necessarily.
Oh yeah,
He says you can do it.
necessarily.
Doesn't mean
Oh,
like he
he
said
does.
divorce.
He in
Moses
fact
Moses
in
allowed divorce.
Deuteronomy
Moses
chapter
allowed
12 verse
divorce.
28. Chris, just to be clear,
Moses allowed
I'm louder
divorce,
than
but he
you.
doesn't agree
Every
with it.
time you talk while I'm talking, no one hears you. So if you want to be
I don't
heard,
care.
the time
I
to
don't
talk is
care.
not shouting over me.
I don't care.
I love this. I'll
I
never
really don't care.
understand guests that think they can talk
I
over the
don't
host.
care.
It's crazy. I
I
know you
just don't
don't
care.
care. Yeah, because you don't have your brain's not screwed in right. You got half a
Is
brain.
that right?
Yeah. So Second Samuel
I'm
chapter
smarter than you are.
12. You certainly not. You're demonstrating right now
Oh, I
that you've
am.
not only read the Bible,
My
but that
IQ's
you're a
way
liar
higher than
and that you're a
yours.
narcissist. So in Second
That's you,
Samuel
buddy.
chapter 12, what are
That's
the
you
punishments handed down to
controlling the answers.
David for what happened when David slept with Bathsheba and had Uriah killed?
Oh, there was punishment for that?
Two of them. Do you remember?
Oh, there was punishment for disobeying God and for breaking his rules? Imagine that.
Do you remember what they are?
I mean, I imagine it was harsh.
So you don't know the story. Great. It says,
I mean, I know it's
of the
harsh.
first punishment, David's wives are going to get raped. It says, thus saith the Lord, I will raise up trouble against you from within your own house, and I will take your wives before your eyes and give them to your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in broad daylight. For you did it secretly, but I would do this thing before all Israel in
Doesn't
broad
sound like
daylight.
rape.
And then in chapter 16, Absalom comes in and rapes 10 of David's wives.
Where's that at now?
Second
Next
Samuel
one.
16. So listen
No, where?
carefully to what it says. God
I heard,
says,
but that's
I will raise up trouble against you
I
from
heard that
within
part.
your own house. The person within the house that's causing the trouble is his son Absalom. Absalom
Oh,
runs a coup against his father David and tries to take his throne. And in a display of force over his
I
father,
remember
he
that.
takes 10 of David's wives up to the top of the palace and rapes them in front of all Israel to show that he's in charge now.
Yeah, that's a horrible thing to do. I bet you that didn't last long for him.
God caused it.
How long did that last, though? I mean, I don't think
Doesn't
he
matter
did.
how
I
long it
think that just
lasts,
happened.
God caused it to happen.
Where does it say God caused that at?
Verse 11, thus saith the Lord, I will raise up trouble
Raise up.
against you
Horrible.
from within your own house, and I will cause your wives I will take your wives before your eyes and give them to your neighbor or
But that's
your
different. He
kin.
says to the neighbor. That
So
was a
God
different
says that
instant.
he's raising up the trouble. He's raising up the trouble
I
that's
know.
going to take those wives and rape them.
No, like you said, his son raped them, but the neighbor, that wasn't. It doesn't say anything about rape right there.
The neighbor includes children. So the Hebrew word reah for neighbor could be translated as kin, as neighbor, as somebody that is
It
proximally
says, "I'll give
close to
them to your
you. It's
neighbor."
a general word, and
It
your
says, "I'll take your
children
wives
do in
before your
fact
eyes and
get
give them to your
included in the
children."
definition of the word.
So you're saying that neighbor means children
What
in
I'm
that
saying is that neighbor has a
context.
broad semantic range in Hebrew. Reah could mean anybody close to you. That's why it's somebody
I think
within your own house.
you're bringing this into your own like narrative now.
Nope. Not even remotely the case. You should know by now that I don't tell lies on the Bible. I'll show you right in the dictionary where the word neighbor can mean literally anybody that is your near kin. Reah. This is the
You
word
didn't do
in
that
Hebrew
earlier,
that we're
asshole.
looking at. And in the BDB lexicon, it says a friend, a companion, a fellow. It could even be a kinsman, somebody who's intimate with you.
Yeah, but those words are
In a
slightly
weaker
different than
sense,
that one, though. Yeah,
I know all of these words are slightly different because the word has a
right.
wide
But you
semantic
got to go by the
range.
exact one though that was
Reah
used, or
in
the
the
oldest.
King
The
James
oldest
Bible typically gets referred to as a kinsman, one of your
kings. Yeah,
kind. So a kinsman is somebody of your
yeah.
family.
Somebody close to you. No, no, no. They're all related. They're all Israelites.
Yeah, I know they're all related. Yes, thank you. Yeah, they are all related, and the
Yeah,
kinsman
it's
who
true.
took David's 10 wives and raped them happened to be his son.
It doesn't say rape right there in those sentences, though. It sounds
It
like,
doesn't have to say rape. We know that's what happened in chapter 16.
well, that's chapter 16. No,
Chapter
that
16
was
is the fulfillment of this prophecy.
how do we know that the neighbors didn't like his wives didn't want to go sleep with the neighbors, and then his son went and raped 10 of them?
Because the neighbors, first of all, are in plural. This is in the singular. Your neighbor is a singular.
Oh, okay. So the prophecy is your neighbor, like your son, like living next door.
Which in fact was the case. His son didn't live in the palace with him.
I believe that. And so his son got all jealous and raped his wives because he wanted David's power.
Yep.
And so how long? But how long did his son reign? Did he get it? Did he get David's power out of that?
Only briefly. It's also irrelevant.
I thought he did. That was only briefly. So he probably paid for that one himself.
I'm sure he did. Yeah, he got killed when he was running away. His hair got caught in a tree, and then somebody came and killed him while he was dangling by his long, beautiful locks.
Shouldn't be raping David's wives. That's what that comes down to.
God caused it.
God, I mean, he did it though.
But
Actually,
God caused it. God says, I will raise up trouble against you from within your own house, and I will take your wives. This is God saying, I'm causing it to happen. So God is causing it to happen as a punishment for David's sin. So when God says, I'm causing it to happen, it doesn't matter if Absalom was the one that acted it out. God said, I'm causing it.
Well, I mean, like the way you have predetermined questions for it, I'm just acting it out too. It's like I'm getting set up already. So you're causing it to for me to fumble on a lot of these questions.
You finally got it. Yes, Chris. The reason why this is a setup is because I've read all of the Bible and you haven't. The way this works is I walk you through all of these Bible passages that I already know exist, that you don't know exist, and I demonstrate all of my claims to actually be true. Yes, I did. Yes, I have a formal education in this. That's why I know about it, and that's why you don't.
That's not why I don't, you stupid ass.
So Numbers 31, let's talk about how God says that you can distribute little virgin girls in war. How about that?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So God wants vengeance against the Midianites for what happened in Peor. Namely, a bunch of Midianite women caused the Israelites to go astray and slept with them, and he wants this to be rectified. So he commands them to go kill all of them. And it says, however, they didn't do it. They let some of them live. And Moses, it says, became angry with the officers of the army, the commanders of thousands, and the commanders of hundreds who had come from service in war. Moses said to them, have you allowed the women to live? These women here, on Balaam's advice, made the Israelites act treacherously against the Lord in the affair of Peor, so that the plague came among the congregation of the Lord. Now, therefore, kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman who has known a man by sleeping with him, but all the young girls who have not known a man by sleeping with him, keep alive for yourselves. What do you think they're doing with these little virgin children?
What do you think Balaam was doing with the children?
I didn't ask you about Balaam. I'm asking, what do you think is happening with these little virgin children who get distributed in war?
Let's see. They feed them, nurture them, send them to off to a good Ivy League school so they can get a good education. They allow their sons maybe to marry into them.
No, the sons get murdered. They get killed. All the little children, boy, get killed.
The Israelite sons, they
got sex trafficked. You're right. These little virgin girls that got kidnapped in war were distributed to the warriors as either slaves or brides, sometimes both.
That's been going on.
And then they were
in history forever.
I know it has been going on in history forever, which is why it's so troubling that God in the Bible condones it.
It would go on right now, today. I mean, if because that's just human nature, man.
I don't think it is human nature. Is it God's nature?
I believe it is in war. In all wars.
Is it God's nature?
All wars all throughout history. Look at Vietnam.
Is it God's nature?
Americans were raping women.
Is it God's nature?
We're going. Not at all. God does not.
Okay, then how come God says to do it?
God doesn't agree with adultery.
How come God says to do it?
He said he allowed it to happen. He didn't say do it.
No, he didn't say allow.
Left to their own vices. Oh, Moses said that. Yeah, I don't know why Moses said that.
He doesn't say allow. In fact, he tells you to distribute the little virgin girls among the warriors. It says, you, Eleazar the priest, and the heads of the ancestral houses of the congregation, make an inventory of the plunder captured, both human and animal. Divide the plunder into 2 parts between the warriors who went out for battle and the congregation, which means the little virgin girls who were plunder of war get divided between the congregation and the warriors. What do you think the
Sounds pretty
20-year-old warriors going out to battle are going to do with these little virgin girls when they get home?
I hope nothing.
You hope. I didn't ask about your hope. I said, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I mean, I would hope that nothing did.
What do you think
I
is
mean,
going to happen?
I have no idea. Probably the same thing that happened
You,
on
oh,
Epstein Island.
you have no idea. Yeah, you're right. It's exactly what happened on Epstein Island. Those
With the
warriors
politicians and the world leaders
who
today,
went to
yeah.
war are going to take those little virgin
Oh,
girls and they're going to become slaves and concubines. That's what's going to happen.
and they probably film it, and then they blackmail all the world leaders and they're doing what they want, like Israel's doing today.
Because I don't know why you keep
Yeah.
bringing up Epstein. Epstein was a piece of
Because
shit, but
what?
so is the Bible God.
Israel's behind all of it, though. That's the reason why all the
No,
nations are going
well,
to
first
rise
of all,
up against
Israel's
them.
not behind all of it, and your
Yes, yes,
anti-Semitism is not going to work
yes.
here.
Oh, I'm not anti-Jew.
Yeah, saying Israel's behind it is definitely anti-Semitic. I'm going to read one more passage with you that I'm sure you're going to fumble. I know you're going to fumble because there's actually nothing good in this passage.
Well,
So,
one question you
last
read
passage,
from the
Chris,
comments,
do you
Matthew.
think that women should have autonomy over their sex and reproduction?
I believe everybody should have freedom.
Okay, so women, like if a woman is married and let's say she is childless, should she be forced to marry her widow's brother so that there's a child that can preserve the heritage?
She knew what she was getting into when she married
I
the
didn't
guy.
ask you that. I said, should she
She
be
knew
forced to do it?
It's
I didn't
always
ask.
been
I didn't
like that
ask you
for
if she
her.
knew. I asked, should she be forced?
It's always been like that
I
for
didn't
them.
ask
They
you if
didn't
it's
know
always
anything
been that
else.
way. I asked you if it's
They didn't know anything else.
I didn't ask you. God doesn't know anything else. The creator of the universe doesn't know anything else. Oh my God. But now we've just learned that God doesn't know things. Does God know all things or not,
Could be darn
Chris?
not. Oh, God knows everything.
Okay, does he know that women shouldn't be forced into arrangements?
They know that that's what the arrangement is. It's not being
No, does
forced.
God
They know
know?
they're marrying the brother. That's what they're
Does
doing.
God know that women should have autonomy, yes or
Well, as
no?
opposed to what? As opposed to what else was she
I'm
gonna do?
asking you, does God know?
Well, what else was she gonna do?
Let her fucking go. She can do anything she wants to. She's a widow.
She can.
They should give her the property. If she's widowed, she should inherit the estate. But unfortunately, in the Bible, that's not how it's set up.
Well, she knew that though.
It doesn't matter. I'm asking you, is there a better way?
At the time,
Yes.
probably not.
No,
Probably
then
not a better way at the time.
there is a
Where
better
did the
way
estate
because
go? It went to his brother, right? It went to his brother
God knows
also.
all
We're
things. In
talking
fact, the
about
law
continuing
code that
the
was
family.
given in
It's
Deuteronomy,
all
God
for the family,
specifically
though.
tells you
It's for the
in
family.
Exodus, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy that he's giving you this law code to follow forever and that it's going to set you apart from the other
That's
people.
not
This
forever.
law code
Christ
is
is the
going
reason
to...
why that law does
No,
longer
Jesus said to follow the law. You can
Jesus
laugh all
said
you want,
love
but
one
you're
another.
wrong.
Jesus said love one another.
Jesus said to follow the
That
law.
covers the law. Jesus said loving
No,
one
it
another covers
doesn't.
the law.
He
Yeah,
didn't
it
say
does.
that. He didn't say
Yeah,
that.
he did.
No, he didn't.
He says,
How much you want to bet?
Yeah.
How much you want to bet? I'll Venmo you $100
I won't.
right now if you can find a passage where
You will?
Jesus says that loving people is all you have to do. You don't have to follow the law.
He said loving one another covers the. That's what Paul said. Actually, Paul wrote about
Paul,
that.
there you go. Paul
That's
said
Paul.
something akin to that, not Jesus. So Jesus said to
Yeah.
follow the law, which I'm going to show to you right now because, again, as we've demonstrated, I've read the book and you haven't. Jesus
I
says,
have
do
read the
not
book.
think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to
fulfill
fulfill. And fulfill doesn't mean abolish, does it?
He did fulfill the law.
Does fulfill mean abolish?
Yeah, he did fulfill the law. Though.
Does fulfill mean abolish?
You don't know what you don't know what he's talking about.
Does
there, though.
fulfill
What's he talking
mean
about?
abolish, Chris?
Which law was he fulfilling though?
I'm asking you a question and you're running away from it. Does fulfill mean abolish, yes or no?
No, it doesn't.
There you go. Okay, so he didn't come to abolish
Right,
the
Christ
law, which
says
is why he says, "Truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass away from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore," and this is the part you've never read, Chris, "whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven." So, according to Jesus, if you want to be great in the kingdom of heaven, should you follow the law, yes or no?
Jesus also said, he said, he goes,
It's
what do
a
you believe the
it's a yes or no
he goes,
question, Chris. In order to be great in the kingdom of
Jesus
heaven,
asked
should you follow the law of
what
Moses?
is the
Chris,
greatest of all commandments?
Chris, we can talk about Matthew 22 when you answer my question. This is why you keep getting muted. So, does Jesus think in order to be great in the kingdom of heaven that you have to follow the law, yes or no?
Not only follow the law, but teach the law.
There you go. So according to Jesus, this law isn't going anywhere until heaven and earth pass away. And you're referring to Matthew 22 and you're doing it wrong.
No, that
In
has nothing
Matthew
to do with
22, he
the
doesn't
way
say not
the
to follow the
Israelites would have
law.
done that.
He tells you what are the two greatest of the laws. He says, when the Pharisees heard that he had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together, and one of them, an expert in law, asked him a question to test him. Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest? He said to them, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the greatest commandment. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So what he's saying is, all of the law and the prophets can be categorized into one of these two laws. This law, the second one, to love your neighbor as yourself, is from Leviticus 19:18. And in that same book where it says to love your neighbor as yourself, it also says that you can enslave your neighbors. So slavery and following the law are in fact compatible.
You think that everybody had like a cushy little no, it was a hard life back then, man.
I know it was hard. It didn't have to be. Is God all powerful? Is God all powerful, Chris?
God is all powerful.
Could he have constituted a nation without slavery?
Things wouldn't transpire as they are.
Again, I didn't ask you that question. I said, was he able to constitute a nation without slavery, Chris?
Everything happens the way it happens.
Was he able to create a nation without slavery, yes or no?
I mean, that wouldn't have been according to his good purpose.
I didn't ask you that. Was he able to create a nation without slavery, yes or no?
That wouldn't have been according to his purpose.
I didn't ask about his will. I said, is he able? Is he okay? So the what if is easy. The answer to the question is yes. If you're all powerful, there's nothing you can't do. That's baked into the definition of omnipotent, which means the answer is yes. God could have given him a law to not own slaves. He didn't have to give them that law. And in fact, he does part of that in Leviticus 25 again. He tells you, remember, we already read it in Leviticus 20. I know, because you're a coward. In Leviticus 25, he says not to own.
What if game doesn't get you nowhere? If ifs were...
It actually does. What if games gets you to logical conclusions? So the question is, could God give a command to not own foreign slaves perpetually? Yes. And we know he could do it because he said not to do it to the Israelites. It says, if any who are dependent on you become so impoverished that they sell themselves to you, you shall not make them serve as slaves. They shall remain with you as hired or bound laborers. They shall serve you until the year of Jubilee. Then they and their children with them shall go out from their authority, and they shall go back to their own family and return to their ancestral property, for they are my servants, who I brought out of the land of Egypt. So of his own male Hebrews, he says, they are my servants. Don't make them serve as slaves, which means God is capable of telling them not to own slaves, correct?
He said you are not to rule over them with harshness.
Yes, I know, of the Israelites. So was God capable of adding don't do it to the foreigners as well?
Why would he do that?
I asked if he's capable of doing it.
But why would he?
I asked, is he capable?
Why would he do that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think that slavery is good or bad?
I'm capable of driving a
Do you think that slavery? Do you think that slavery is good or bad, Chris?
Slavery? Depends.
Gotcha. So you're pro-slavery. Just checking. So do you
I
think
said it depends.
as long as God tells you to do it, it's good then, right?
If God tells me to do it,
Yeah.
oh yeah, everything God's told me to do, I've done.
No. I'm not
And
asking about
He's
you.
never asked me to do any of that stuff.
I'm not asking about you personally. I'm using this
Well,
as a
He's never asked me to do any of
question
that stuff, so I don't know.
about moral quandaries. If God
You said
asks
if God
anyone
tells
to do anything, is it always right to obey?
everything He's asked me to do, it was right
I
to
didn't
obey.
ask
Yes.
about you, Chris. I said if
I don't know
God
about you,
asks
buddy. What does He ask you to
any
do?
person to do something, is it right to obey?
What did He ask you to do?
He didn't ask me to do anything because he doesn't exist. So we'll try this again. If
Well,
God
He's asking
asks
you to do
somebody
things
to
because
do
He does
something,
exist.
would it be right to obey?
I mean, yes. When I obeyed Him,
There
yes, I
you
did do
go.
it.
That's
It
what
was
we
right.
needed.
It was right
Now,
to do it.
so then is it
Yeah.
always
When He asked me to do, I
wrong
did.
to disobey God, Chris?
If I wouldn't have done it, I imagine there would have been repercussions if I hadn't done what He asked.
I didn't
Yes.
ask you that. I said, is it always wrong to disobey God?
If I would have disobeyed Him, I would have
I didn't
played good
ask
for it.
you about your disobedience. I'm asking, is it always wrong? It needs to be a yes or no.
Well, I mean, I have free will.
I didn't ask you if you had free will. I asked you, yes or no, is it always wrong to disobey God?
I mean, I'd love to obey God.
I didn't ask you that. I asked, is it wrong to disobey God? Or is it wrong to,
I don't know why
disobey
I would
God?
want. I don't know why I'd want to disobey Him.
So just to be clear, you're not capable of actually answering yes or no. You're too much of a coward.
I'm not a coward at all, my
You
friend. And we
dodge.
can
We're
go to
gonna
the
get
parking
the
lot
we're
to
gonna
show
get
you
the
that.
dodge counter on the screen. We're
We
already
can
at
go to
like
the
dodge
parking lot
number
right now.
30.
I'm not that far away.
Let me get the dodge counter going, and
Hey, we can go to the
we
parking
might
lot right now.
we might actually set a new record. We're at dodge number
Let's see if you're a
7 at
coward. Let me see if
least.
you're a coward. Come out to
So
the parking
dodge
lot.
number 7. Let's go to dodge. Oh, here comes. I love it. Here comes the threats of violence. That's my favorite thing.
No,
So Chris,
if you say I'm a coward, let's see
is
if
it
you
always
are.
wrong? Is it always
I'll
wrong?
meet you in the parking lot and see if
I
you're
would
a
love to
coward.
meet you in a parking lot if you ever turn
I
up in
would
my
love to meet you in the parking
town.
lot.
Let's have it. Let's show your love
God
of
wouldn't want me to
Christ.
do that, but I'm a man, so
Oh,
I'll
you're a
do it.
man, so you disobey God. Is it wrong to disobey God?
Yeah, I imagine it would be wrong.
Is it always wrong to disobey
concrete.
God?
It would be bad if I did that. Yes.
I said, is it always wrong to disobey God?
Oh, absolutely.
Gotcha. That I don't know why it took 30 minutes to get there. Fantastic. We'll set the dodge counter back to 0. So the next question is, if God told you to own a slave, would it be wrong to own a slave?
God has never told me to own a slave.
I didn't ask if he did. I said, if God commanded you to own a slave, would it be wrong?
I don't.
So you're a coward? Okay, dodge number 1. If God told you to own a slave, would it be wrong to own a slave?
I don't play the if game.
Dodge number 2. If God told you to own a slave, would it be wrong to own a slave?
I don't play the if game, buddy.
Dodge number 3. If God told you to own a slave, would it be wrong or right to own a slave?
Why do I have to play your if game?
Dodge number 4. If God told you to own a slave, would it be right or wrong to own a slave?
There's no ifs.
Dodge number 5. We only get 10 of these. If God told you to own a slave, would it be right or wrong to own a slave?
Oh, now I play the if game. Just kidding.
Dodge number 6. If God told you to own a slave, would it be right or wrong to own a slave?
Oh, no, still don't play the if
Dodge
game.
number 7. If God told you to own a slave, would it be right or wrong to own a slave? Keep in mind, cowards don't answer.
Play the if game.
Dodge number 8.
Play the if game.
Cowards. Are you a coward? Yes or no?
I'm not your bitch.
Are you a coward?
I'm not your bitch.
Are you a coward?
I'm not your bitch.
Don't answer the question if you're my bitch.
I don't play the if game.
There you go. You're my bitch now. Thanks for confirming it. We appreciate it. Chris, it's been fun. Maybe more. Yeah, I'd love to see you in a parking lot, Chris. I could bench press you twice. Don't even worry about hurting me. I'll take it. I'll take the lumps if you got any to bring. I'm not worried about it in the slightest. I love the Christians that come up here. You will know them by their fruit.
This is why you should not sleep with your family members.